Welcome to the helipad on the Serenade of the Seas in June of 2023. Hey everyone, I'm Patrick from Oakland Travel. And as I mentioned in the previous vlog episode, we were just kind of up here about 2:30ish in the afternoon, hanging out, just checking it out, recording some videos, still kind of learning the layout of the ship. And so I typically try to do live streams on embarkation day around 2:30, 3 o'clock, etc. So at this point, we're getting ready to head back up to the Solarium and see if we can find a nice little spot to sit down, pop open the laptop, and go live for a little while on Facebook and YouTube, or just pick one. Sometimes, most of the time, it's YouTube. But I typically like to do that at the start of a cruise on embarkation day, and then sometimes during the cruise itself, we'll also go live. As I mentioned in the previous vlog episode, people are still coming on board the ship, even though we're like an hour away from the cutoff for people to join the ship and so on. But I guess people that are flying into Tampa on the day of the cruise, or maybe they're driving over or something like that, and they're getting to the terminal, getting to the ship, with still a little bit of time left to be able to get on and be able to board. And so you see here Terminal 3. So now we are back inside the ship, getting ready to head up to Deck 11, where the Solarium is and the Park Cafe. I had been kind of scoping out a little bit earlier, trying to figure out where's a good place to do a live stream, and found a spot up there. One thing I was noting right here is that the elevators are all on one side of the ship, which I found very interesting. And I realized it when we first came on a few hours prior to this, but when I was standing here sort of looking at the next cruise desk and Cafe Latitudes there in the background, and then it kind of hit me, and I was like, wait a minute, all the elevators are only on the port side of the ship. The starboard side, the entire starboard side of the ship is kind of an interesting deal, especially around decks 5 and 6. Because on deck 6, you've got that whole walkway or that hallway that goes all the way back to the Safari Club. It's a huge hallway that goes from the middle of the ship, midship, all the way to the back. Deck 5, you've got the dining rooms back there and so on. It's just a very interesting layout. And so we were sort of talking about that a little bit as we were walking through that area. So middle of the afternoon, still a couple of hours to go before the ship leaves Tampa. And so as you imagine, the pool area is active. Everybody's at the bar, everybody's getting a drink, etc. And I'm noticing already at this point in the cruise, certain bars that we are probably going to end up favoring over others throughout the course of the cruise. It's interesting to me sometimes to watch, you see certain bars, or at least I see certain bars where it feels like they should have a minimum number of bartenders always on staff. And then other bars, they don't have as many and they need more. They're sort of short-staffed a little bit. And the Solarium was one instance where there's one guy over here by himself, and there should have been two of them over here. But go back around the corner where the pool bar is, and they're fully staffed over there. So we were sort of just making little mental notes of which bar areas were probably going to be a better option for us. But here we are right there in the Park Cafe area, and kind of set up there for the live stream. We were on live for a little while, and it was a good little spot to kind of sit right there and have the camera going. And got the Park Cafe over here on one side of the Solarium, little salad bar here and everything. And so at this point, we go back to the stateroom and get everything ready for the live stream. And that is up on the YouTube channel if you're interested. Yeah. That's older. Yeah. Yeah.